Dudes behind the foods. Yo, it's the dudes behind the foods. Dudes behind the foods. Yeah, it's the dudes behind the foods.
That's actually really fucking good. Oh shit, my ear.
Can you burp?
Not right now.
Okay, so
Oh, you got it.
Veda, my daughter, she just is beginning to find the comedy in bodily functions. So she'll burp and then she'll go, Daddy burp. And then I'll go, and she'll look to her mom and she'll go, Mommy burp. And she goes to everyone in the room to make them burp.
Oh my god.
And then you go, Veda burp. And she goes,
Can she burp on a command? No.
Veda?
No.
No. She goes, that's it.
And you have to burp babies because they can't do it themselves.
Oh, yeah. Well, I forget the reasoning for that, but yeah, you got to do it just so they don't
It's like uncomfortable for them, right?
something like that.
Tat, tat, tat.
Yeah, little juicy little burps. Yeah, that's what we're doing with Q. We don't do that with Veda, but like with Q.
I
yeah.
wonder what this motherfucker's gonna look like when he's like 1 or 2. Because Veda's face started changing. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was all you at first, and then it went into the fucking Chia.
Veda just looked like a little Asian squishy baby. Yeah, and then as she really started to grow, like her face, you definitely see the Chia in there now. Q as a baby looks just like Veda did as a baby, naturally. Pero who knows what he's gonna look like, bro? I don't know. Honestly, I think he looks a little less of an Asian baby now when you see him like when he's chilling. So we'll see.
Well, I'm excited because these babies are gonna grow up so rich, unlike our asses.
I know, and I've talked about this before, but that's something that is I struggle with because I feel like being broke builds such character. You know what I'm saying? It's like a motivator. It makes you appreciate things. So I'm like, how am I gonna really instill this thing that wasn't taught to me, right? Where it's like the motivation to want to work to get the things I didn't have growing up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's one of my main drivers for me in my career.
It's fucking hard, man. Like we've seen this before too. When we see a lot of people who kind of have everything, they kind of like have to fake not having everything,
Right.
which is so weird, right?
They gotta make up struggles and shit.
And I get it now because they don't know what it feels like to like. There's like a joy. I don't know if this makes sense for anybody out there, but everybody's first experience is something that's so dope, right? Like when you get your first like level up, that's like something you chase constantly. Like when you had, like when our YouTube shit popped off, right? That felt amazing. The first time we did film, first time we were like, this is the stuff that feels great. But if everybody else is kind of like, well, yeah, if you want, I'll just give it to you.
Right.
How does that feel? Like it doesn't feel that fucking good. It's just
I
more like,
know.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been had this. Who cares, right? Yeah, man. It's something I just gonna have to navigate, I guess. We'll see. Cause like, fuck, we got a beautiful house that she's just gonna grow up thinking this is how everybody lives life.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Or she might even go to other people's house and be like, ew, this is how you live?
I know.
Oh God, I do not want that at all. Oh, speaking of things I just don't want.
Just send her to your parents' house. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send her to my parents' house. It's like, this is where Daddy lived. Stay here for fucking all the way through summer.
Oh, if she only knew. We like fucking in Long Beach, dog. Like when I was like really young, it was me, my parents, 1-bedroom apartment in Long Beach.
We lived out in these duplexes, Tem Woods. And that shit was fucking rough.
Right.
Fucking rough, man. And like it's rough only in perspective because when we're living in it, it's not bad, right? Because that's just fucking life. But when I look back, I'm like, oh, this is fucking terrible.
Oh, I can't believe like it was just us in that tiny apartment. Like it was literally like little living room, half kitchen, a bedroom and a bathroom.
Yeah.
My
brother had to share his room with, we had to share a room with our grandpa who used to like sleep with his eyes open and shit.
Oh, God.
Fucking creepy as hell. Duplex, living next to a neighbor, sharing a fucking wall. Super small. And like before that was our little tiny apartment. But even that's kind of like a trip because we live with our grandparents. It was like just a really small situation.
Yeah, man.
And I never realized how other people didn't live like that until I went to college. And then I would share stories, and all these kids are fucking rich. And I'm like, damn, y'all fucking live different, dude. Like, you guys go on vacations and like this basic shit.
Yeah,
you know?
never.
They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're going to go to Hawaii. We're going to go to fucking the Mykonos or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is Mykonos?
My parents have never been to Hawaii.
For reals?
Yeah, I feel shit. I should probably send them to Hawaii.
My parents went to Hawaii for the first time like 5 years ago.
Oh shit.
I mean, you terrible son.
I guess so.
Just
huh?
fucking buy them a house and you didn't send them to Hawaii.
You know, my mom, like, she's always like, when you and Chia get your next house, make sure you get a little house in the back for me and your dad to move into.
Are you out of your mind? Are you crazy?
I'm
That's
like,
nonsense.
I'm like, it's kind of hard to find, Mom. It's not easy. It's not easy, Mom, to find out here. I don't know.
I told my mom this. She was like, do you think you could live with me? I was like, here's a better question. Can you live with me? And then she stopped. She was like, we can't live together. I was like, yeah, because how you are is like how I am. And by the way, if I'm paying rent, guess whose house you're in? You're in my house. You know what I mean? That's the difference. You know?
I think my mom also might have ADHD. Like,
I just pictured your mom taking the test. Miss Chaturangsu. Ah.
now that I have it and I recognize all like the symptoms of it,
Yeah, my dad got that shit too.
I see her like mannerisms and just different situations when we were growing up, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, that makes so much sense. Like, why can't she just fucking chill out? Like, why can't she just relax? You know, and even when she comes to my house, she'll bring food or whatever. And, you know, like, Chia's parents are there. We're chilling. My dad's there. The baby's there. And she's always just, like, in the kitchen, opening up drawers, fucking like, what's this? I'm like, Mom.
That's ADHD like a motherfucker, dude.
I'm like, can you just relax? Please, you're stressing me out.
Yeah. Just watching that shit, it annoys you.
Because then I feel like I need to be up.
Yeah, then you're like, okay.
I'm like, why are you my shit, you
Yeah.
know?
I'm surprised she still does that because she's older. Like, usually when they're old, they kind of calm down a bit.
Oh, my mom's energy is still on 10.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
mom used to be like that, but now that she's older, like, because your mom and my mom are pretty similar in age, she's like slowed down a lot. So I could tell in her fucking beady little eyes that she wants to, but she just be sleepy. So she's like, I'm just going to take a nap. I'm like, good, do that.
Ugh.
Just fucking nap.
My mom is everywhere, and meanwhile, my dad is like melted into the couch.
Your dad's just a stone fixture now.
Is Veda, come here, Veda, come to poopy.
Doesn't he want to like get a little more fit for Veda? Because she's running around like crazy.
You would think so, right? Easier said than done, dude.
He's playing fetch with her.
He's always like, he'll come back from like hanging out. Like, my mom and dad will be together, and I'm like, how is everything? He's like, she's trying to kill me. She's trying to give me a heart attack. Watch. And he's always like, he always says that if my mom like stresses him out so much that he has like a stroke or a heart attack, he's like, I'm going to haunt her every day. Every day I'm going to haunt her. Because my mom is also very paranoid about like spirits and shit like that.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Oh, and so he's like, oh, just wait.
Yes. He goes, I'm trying to kill myself right now. Fucking, my dad's so interesting because I can't talk to my dad like how you talk to your dad. Like, my dad's very awkward on the phone, right? And only recently, let me tell you this shit, right? This is why I want to talk about the podcast because I feel like you could relate to this shit. But my dad is like somebody who doesn't know how to have a conversation with his own kids, right? Which is kind of like, I feel like your mom's kind of like how my dad is.
Right.
So my dad has this habit of he always wants to give you advice when literally nobody asked, right? So I asked him, my mom, I was like, oh, there's something that's big that might happen for me recently. I told you off podcast. I was like, just pray for me, right? And my mom was like, your dad's prayers are really strong, so I'm going to tell him to pray for you. I was like, all right, cool. Told my dad what was going on, and I was like, hey, this is what I would like a prayer for. And he goes, okay, but do you even know what you're doing? And I'm like, fucking vain. Right here, right? And I'm like, what do you, he goes, well, this is what you should do, blah, blah. I was like, listen, you've never dealt with any of the stuff that I'm doing in your fucking life.
Yeah.
I just asked you to be kind and pray for me, right? He goes, well, let me just break this down for you. And my mom grabs the phone. She goes, this is why you don't have friends.
To your dad?
Yeah. She goes, he asked for a prayer. and you're lecturing him.
Yeah.
Like, this is why nobody can talk to you. And then she just grabs the phone, and you just hear them offside. My mom is yelling at my dad. And I'm looking at talking to my mom. I'm like, what the fuck was that? What is he doing? She goes, I don't fucking know.
I think that's just like an old parent thing, dog. Like, I remember, bro, being in high school maybe or junior high when I was really beginning to write raps.
Oh my God. Dude.
Dog, writing raps, junior high, high school, and my parents and my dad being like, you should do it like this. And I think it's one of the only times I really like got into a fight with my parents because I'm like, you guys don't even like this music. What are you talking about? Yeah. They're like, you should just, but I can still have my opinion. I'm like, no.
That's exactly what my dad will do. It's the weirdest thing. It's like, what is this? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And even my mom gets it now. She's just like, what are you doing? Like, he just asked you to pray for him, like, do something kind, and you just started shitting on him. Why are you shitting on him? Like, what are you fucking doing?
Parents are weird, man. I love my dad so much. He's a great guy. He's so funny.
Use the N-word more here. Use it more right here.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
The other day, he's like, how's Veda? Or no, he's like, no. Here's what he goes. He goes, how's Q, right? And I'm like, crying a lot, keeping us up. And my dad replies, this is in text, why?
What the fuck do you mean? Why?
I'm like,
this is a baby, dog.
I was like, I didn't know what to say. All I could do was screenshot and send to Rick. Because I was like, what?
How do I respond to this? Dog, there'd be like, so today too, I was talking to my mom. Oh, I called my mom, but my dad picked up.
Yeah.
And like, because he doesn't know how to have a conversation, he just goes, hello. I'm like, I just stay quiet. He goes, I'll give it to your mom.
Oh my God.
He doesn't know how to say anything. Uh-huh. And I'm like, because in his mind, he knows I'm going to get pissed, but he doesn't know how not to just not lecture me.
Yeah.
So he has to pause and be like, I want to tell him how to do something. But it's like, you don't have to. Just say hi.
Wow.
Just say hi, you idiot.
I used to tell my mom that all the time. Like, she would call me and just lecture me about everything. And I'd be like, can you just ask me how are you and how's my day going? Can we just talk about that?
Yeah.
But I guess also it's not fair to her because let's say I'd be like, oh, I'm going to the movies with my friend. And she'd be like, what movie? And I'm fighting every urge to be like, you don't know shit that's in the theaters. What are you even asking me for? What? I can mention any movie in theaters right now and you'd be like, what's that?
What movie you're watching? Avatar, Way of Water. All right.
No, Avatar might be the only one. It's always like one movie that old Asian people know about that they always want to ask about.
That's so fucking funny.
Oh, guys, because if they were to be like, hey, what movie? Like, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Sounds weird.
Sounds gay.
Sounds stupid.
My mom, we were having this conversation, and she cracks me up because now we can go back and forth on a lot of things. But she always does this thing. She tries to give me advice on like YouTube stuff.
Oh God.
And then I told her like, listen, I don't really do YouTube anymore. I do podcasting.
Yeah.
Right. I was like, YouTube is there for the podcast. And then she's like, well, I was like, listen, I've told you this a million fucking times. When we talk on the phone, we're just here to have a good time.
Yeah.
Don't teach me about business. Work. Don't talk about work. All I do is fucking work.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to talk to you and have fun like we normally do. And she's like, well, I can't change. And it's like, and I'm old, so you should, it's called Yangbo. You should like bend towards my will, right? You should learn how to do that. I was like, listen, I'm from your blood, which means I'm you. I'm not bending shit. She goes, well, I'm not bending shit either. I was like, well, that's life then, isn't it? She goes, yep.
And you guys kissed.
And she just starts laughing. She goes, I guess this is just what it is. I was like, yeah. So I was like, she goes, I don't like arguing. I was like, neither do I, but apparently this is just how it is.
Right,
and so now she's just like, okay, I give up. I'm going to ask and you can yell at me.
That's
I'm like,
great.
Fine. We're
That's
good.
beautiful.
Took how many years to figure this out?
Bro, the other day my parents were over, and mind you, my parents only stopped by for an hour, right? So we're chilling. Chia's parents, my parents, the babies are running around. Well, not Q, but Veda's running around, and my dad's like, so Russia and China is getting kind of crazy, huh? I'm like, Dad, can we not? He's like, what? I'm like, can we not talk about war right now? He's like, it's the real world. You want to pretend like it's not happening? I'm like, I know it's happening. You guys are here for an hour.
Yeah.
Can we keep it light, please?
So Ukraine, huh? Like, all right, man.
He's like, it's getting pretty crazy. I know it's getting crazy, Dad. I'm like, look, Dad, we can talk about when Q gets drafted. Yeah. Then we can start talking about this shit. I only have y'all here for an hour. Can we just talk about like just how are you? You know what I'm saying?
just we could have something else besides this part right here. It's weird, man. Like I have a really good relationship with my parents, right? My dad is just that I've understood with my father there's nothing else that's going to happen besides him just knowing how to lecture. So my brother will call me to complain about my dad because my brother is he's very complicit. Like in terms of like he doesn't like fighting back at all.
Yeah, same.
But for me, I'm different. So I'll fucking hear this shit and I'll call my parents up and be like, hey, you need to leave him alone. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And they're like, well, what? Well, so, for example, they're trying to hook him up with this girl right now.
Oh, God.
Dog.
She cute?
She's cool. She's really cool, right?
Okay.
She's actually really fucking dope.
Okay.
But it's not really being reciprocated as much. My brother's like,
From your brother?
No, from the girl. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
it's cool, but at the same time, he's like, I don't want to do all this work. Like, I'm too old for this shit.
Oh,
So
he's not trying to court and shit like that.
Yeah. It's like if it's gonna work, I need a little more than this. Like it's okay, but whatever.
Okay.
So my dad over here, who's only dated one fucking girl his whole life,
What a loser!
you know what I mean? Trying to give my brother like dating advice, and then he goes, my brother's like, listen, like I messaged her last time a month ago. If she only gives me 1 or 2 more responses, then that's not really fun for me, right? He goes, well, you need to text her like 5 or 6 times a day.
Oh, God. Does he not know how things work?
I was like, Dad, is he a stalker? Is that? He goes, that's not weird. I'm like, oh, you're a loser. I was like, what? My dad, and my mom told me, it's like, your dad has never dated anybody else besides me.
Yeah, what the fuck?
So he doesn't know how this stuff works. He
Yeah.
goes, I chased your dad. He didn't have to do anything. So my dad doesn't know how to date women at all.
Right.
He's like, text her like 5 or 6 times. She'll love it.
Oh, my God.
No, that's not how it works. And I'm trying to like explain this to him.
Yeah.
Like, you don't do that. He goes, why? I would like it. I'm like, because you're a loser.
Yeah.
All right? That's why. Other women would be creeped the fuck out. And I don't know how to explain it to him, man.
Let's set up your mom with my dad and my dad with your mom and my mom with your dad.
It'll be a double homicide.
Or a big old orgy.
Oh, God. Oh,
Wow.
God. It just it's just going to smell so weird.
Oh my
It's
God.
going to smell like Thai medicine and Korean medicine.
Fucking kimchi and fish sauce. Ew.
It's like 2 different tiger bombs. Just
Oh.
Korean tiger bomb. And
Wow. You know what? You know what's crazy is all those things we just described. I was like, To every single one, I was like, oh.
all we're going to hear in a room is just a bunch of joints popping.
Oh, God.
Like, what's going on in there?
I'm disgusted. Speaking of which, oh, dog, did I ever tell you about the time I came home right after my parents had smashed?
It's fucking disgusting.
It was pretty crazy.
I don't want to hear
I
this.
was in high school or maybe college, and my parents thought I was going to be out all night, right? So I came home. I was coming home early, and because I didn't end up being out all night, I came home probably, I don't know, around like 11 or 12.
Thai penises are like Thai chili peppers.
I came home to find my mom passed out on the couch. My dad was also like knocked out somewhere. There was a fucking empty bottle of wine on the table. And I swear to God, my mom's bra was in the kitchen. My dad, he's heard me tell that story before. He's like, that's not true. I'm like, Dad.
Dad,
Yes, it was.
I went through years of therapy for this. That's crazy. He's like, how come you won't sit on the kitchen table anymore? You still.
Dad, we eat here.
How could you?
But yeah, that it went down. I mean, it made me kind of like, it's a little gross, but then it also made me go, oh.
No. It's not all for me.
Aw.
I can't deal with that shit. I don't ever want to know. I came from a stork.
No, dude, your parents had sexual intercourse.
That was
Fucking your mom. Yes, I forgot all about that.
You know your dad was fucking your mom, right?
Fucking
Your
mom.
God, that guy! I hate him so much. He burned me so bad.
I was also gonna bring up. I have a whole list of things. I'm like, remember to bring this up to David because I feel like I write them down and then we always talk about other bullshit. And then as I go through my list, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back.
Come on now.
That's delicious.
That sounded black. Do it again. Oh, I'm influencing your life, brother. Let's get this last ravioli.
I knew black people before you. I need the people to know.
But why'd you have to like say it? Oh, wait, before we go there, I got black friends before you.
You're one of the top tier ones, I tell you.
I don't know how to take that.
So, David, as you know, we're getting old.
All right.
Recently, I did a college show.
Oh.
Yes, I did a little speaking engagement at University of Oregon. And have you ever seen The Sixth Sense?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if this quote from the movie resonates for you like it does for me, pero there's one part. So the kid's name is Stanley in that movie, all right? And he was kind of like very socially awkward.
Stuttering Stanley.
Stuttering Stanley. Thank you, David. So I thought it was a pretty well-known quote from that movie, all right?
It's like a film classic.
Stuttering Stanley. Stuttering Stanley. Stuttering Stanley. I thought everybody knew that shit, right?
Uh-huh.
I went to this fucking college show, and it was a moderated Q&A, which is what I prefer to do now.
That's what I do now too. It's
way
the best.
easier. It's so great.
It's the best for them too.
Yeah, because you get to have
You get to talk.
nice little repartee with the kids, right? So the kid who was moderating was this dude named Stanley. So the whole so he said, "Yeah, I'm Stanley. I'll be your moderator," and I'm like, "Stuttering Stanley!" Crickets. No one knew what the fuck I was talking about. I was like, "Stuttering Stan." Y'all never seen The Sixth Sense? Not one person has seen The Sixth Sense. No one knew what the fuck I was talking
We've
about.
gotten to that age.
Yeah, dog. We're just out there shouting out gibberish into the void.
We might as well just be up there going, blah, 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 blah.
Hey, blah, 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 right? They're like, okay.
This guy's dusty.
Yeah, dog. No one knew what I was talking about. I was like, all right, y'all, well, here's your homework tonight.
I would just start saying, Riz. Riz.
Riz. Bussin'. That fool's bussin'.
Bussin' Riz.
But yeah, dog, no one knew. And I was like, wow, shit, they don't know. It's crazy. I felt very old.
Dog, you know what? You know who's like the oldest person who shouldn't be this fucking old is Mariel. Like Mariel will not understand any fucking references at all. And she acts like she's way older than she is, and she's not old at all. Like we had our nephew come through, right? And he's like 11, 12 years old. And he's obviously, as an 11 and 12-year-old, he's going to be saying full-on sentences.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
And so my nephew's like super into that game, Fortnite. And he's talking about the game, Fortnite. And you know, when you're 12, when you're into some shit, you know everything about it. And he's like, wow, can you believe like he could describe the game? I'm like, he's 12. What the fuck are you talking about?
That's like 6th grade.
That's what I'm saying. He's almost in junior high. You know? And she's like, yeah, but it's so advanced. I'm like, no, it's not. He's almost in junior. What are you talking about? And she's getting amazed by everything. I was like, do you think 11 and 12 are idiots? Do you think they're dumb? They're like almost going through puberty and shit.
Oh, just wait till y'all have your own, man.
Oh, dude, I'm not going to be amazed at all. These kids are going to be fucking doing regular shit. I'm like, that's regular shit.
Oh, I gassed the fuck up out of Veda, dog. Everything she does, I'm like, Veda, you're a genius! You're amazing!
Yeah.
Well, you know why, too? I'll tell you this, bro. People always ask me, whenever I do these fucking interviews, they're always like, how are you so confident? Like, how did you get that way, right? Because these kids are always asking for tips on how to be confident. And I was never able to give an answer on like tips of how to be confident and shit or why until I really thought back and I realized that my parents were always super supportive of me. Like any fucking weird idea I had as a little kid drawing, little only child coming up with like little fucking weird scenarios in my head and playing pretend, they always played with me, always like supported it. And I feel like that really helped me grow into a confident, some would say, some being Rick, delusional person. Because like I just have this like I just feel like I'm the shit at everything, right? And that has gotten me very far. And I think that is a big reason. The big reason for that is because my parents were so supportive, you know?
See, that's a good thing, but I think your delusion is still moderated because you have people in your life that let you know you're fucking delusional.
Like Rick.
Like Rick,
Yeah.
you know, and Rick is there to balance your shit out.
Yeah.
I'll give you the opposition of that, right? I know somebody who is so fucking delusional because their parents have never ever chastised them once in their life.
Aha.
And I didn't figure this out because I'm the opposite, right? It's like I'm very, I say what I feel, right? It's not that I don't care about people's feelings.
Yeah.
It's just I say things. I'm not here to cater to how you feel 24/7.
You want to keep it real.
I just keep it real and polite.
Yeah.
But even if you're polite and you keep it real, they think you're shitting on them, right? Because they're so used to only hearing positive affirmation. So I knew somebody, and this person I made cry a few times. And I didn't know until mutual friends told us. And I was like, yo, why the fuck is this motherfucker crying?
Yeah.
Like, later on, like, if you fucking cry, let me know I'm making you cry so I could just not say this shit in front of you, you fucking bitch. And so, turns out, having a conversation with them, and they're like, listen, like, I've never actually had somebody, like, either yell at me or tell me that I was wrong. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Girl or boy?
Huh? It's a girl.
Okay.
Never, ever been chastised, yelled at, grounded, nothing. And so for them, they're so used to having all their ideas be considered gold. So they're like, if they say something, somebody's like, yeah, I don't know if that's going to work. They get devastated. And I'm talking, I would say shit like that. We'll be like, okay, well, what about this? What if you tried this and this instead because that might not work? That would feel like me telling them, you're dumb, you're not worth anything, and I can't believe you just said that.
Wow.
That's how they process it.
Yeah.
And so they would walk away crying.
Oh, God.
And I'm like, wait, did I do something wrong here?
Right.
But that's a different type of delusion.
Yeah.
Right? Where,
The balance is important for
yeah,
sure.
so you're not on that type of side.
Well, I mean, here's the thing for me, too, which makes it different, is that, like, I'm really good at stuff. So... So it's not necessarily delusion. It's that's the difference, right? But no, you're right. And look, and that would be the last thing I would want for Veda as well. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I want to make sure she feels encouraged and supported in any weird shit she wants to do. But I will for sure make sure she knows that
What if Veda really sucks at something and she thinks she's the shit?
it depends, man.
How do you deal with that?
It depends.
Because you don't want to crush them, right?
To this day, I have a friend that can't sing, and I haven't had the heart to tell him. I've known him for 10 years, and he's like, you know, he's just, it's
let me
not.
tell you I go for one of them too. And I can't do that to them because I see how much they enjoy it. And they're not hurting anybody. So I just leave it alone. And
Yeah,
plus,
Paul Kim.
No, I have a friend, like, because they're not trying to make a living off of it,
Yeah.
they're just doing it for fun. We just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's for funsies.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It just sucks when we have to listen to it, though.
It's I struggle with it internally because I feel like as a friend, should I tell this person that this sucks? But luckily, we're not that close of friends.
But not your responsibility.
Not on me. I would just let them embarrass themselves on social media. It's fine.
We would get so irritated at this one friend because, like, you know, when we were younger, you're in the car and that fucking jam comes on and everybody's trying to sing along to it. And this motherfucker's so off key, he would ruin the vibe.
Oh no.
Like, like, if you're off key a little bit, it's fine. But he's literally tone deaf. And it just fucks up the whole fucking vibe. And they can't do it on tempo. They're off beat. The fucking worst. And everybody just kind of stopped. We just go, we gonna skip this track.
Yeah.
We just move the fuck on.
You know what we should do? You and me have never done karaoke together.
Oh.
We should do it for a When Foodie Calls.
I'm down.
And like obviously I probably won't be able to monetize because of the music, but fuck it. I'll
fuck
make sure
it.
it's like a Factor sponsored video or some shit.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll
Yeah.
be a little razzmatazz.
Little kit and caboodle, little skedaddly shenanigans.
I want to see him do Muay Thai so bad.
We still gotta do that too. I actually know I got a dude that we could totally shoot that with now. You know, I sent you that clip of that shoot I was on the other day.
He sent me this clip of this like pro fighter just literally beating the shit out of a bag like it owed it money. And I was like, are you fighting that guy? Because don't do it.
Luckily, it was more the bit leaned more to the side of just funny. Like the director was literally like, "Hey, Tim, just swing at him, go crazy on him, try and hit him, because like he's not gonna hit you back." So just like,
Oh yeah, whatever. See, this is what they always say, right? But guess what? No matter what, when you're a fighter, you have pride, right? And they never know. Like, and I learned this the fucking hard way, right? I'm not prolific at Muay Thai, right? I did kickboxing a little bit here and there a couple years, but I'm not terrible.
yeah,
So for me, I'm such a goofy fucking dude. And we'll come in and then, but here's the other thing too. Like if you're the YouTuber and they know you, they're going to try to hurt you a little more. It's just because they, for some reason in their mind, they think that you're cocky or whatever. And I'm over here like goofy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know? But there was one guy, not to say his name, he's a nice dude. But he apologized after too. And I told this guy, listen, I'm not a fighter.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So he goes, oh yeah, you know, you could try some stuff out on me. I did a fake and I hit him in the liver, just tapped it, right? But he's a smaller dude. He told me I could. He clocked me back so fucking hard. My back of my head touched the back of my neck. Blah! And I went, oh shit. And then he started going a ham on me.
Yeah.
And I had to clinch the dude up and stop. And the coach was like, hey, what the fuck are you, not to me, to the guy, what the fuck are you doing? He goes, oh, my bad. Like, you hit me really good. That was some good shit. I was like, bro, I can't feel my face.
Would you ever do a YouTuber boxing event?
If the money's right. 100% if the money's right. But if the money, and what I mean when the money's right, it has to be a minimum of $500,000. And I'm not worth that much. So
I got hit up for one. Did I tell you that?
how much were they offering?
I don't know. I didn't even go that far. Fucking iDubbbz, he's doing this Creator Clash event, and I think this is the second one he's done. And his whole shit is like, yo, let's do something like without drama. Like most of the money goes to charity. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like about the event and the sport of it, right? And I'm like, look, he DM'd me, and I'm like, honestly, dog, I have been taking boxing lessons with my trainer. I look pretty cool when I do it, but no, thank you.
Yeah, also too, right? And I'll say this about like the boxing shit. Boxing, getting punched in the face for real is not fun. It fucking hurts.
Right.
You know what I mean? And also too, we're not trying to look like a bunch of bitches.
Yeah.
So how much of this is going to take out of my life?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I am not trying to be memed the next day.
For reals, dude. You know, at least for you, because you're smaller, like when you get hit, there's like a smaller chance you'll get knocked out. Somebody who's 200 pounds hits me in the face, I'm going to be in another universe.
Oh, facts. A bigger person is going to hit you with a bigger hand.
Exactly.
You're a bigger person.
Exactly. So I'm fighting at 125 pounds. I'm going to come through just... let's fucking do this.
All right, well, me and David are going to spar real quick, and we'll be right back.
Hollywood.
It's like our heroin that we distribute to the rest of the world.
We need to talk about America is back.
Asian parents are starting to evolve, like Pokemon.
They would always be like, no girlfriend, no girlfriend, no girlfriend. And then one day they're like, why aren't you married?
Now, any Tinder matches today?
New topics, fresh perspectives.
We're talking about entertainment,
Showbiz.
Social media.
From our crew of first-generation comedians.
I love Lucy. That's my
That's
shit.
how we learn English.
It took an immigrant and a woman to make entertainment what it is.
Dude, people, but that boxing craze, man, like all these YouTubers are doing it. Some of them have gotten pretty fucking good, dude.
Yeah.
Like the one European gamer, the Black brothers.
KSI.
Yes, KSI. Like KSI and his younger brother.
Deji.
His hands have gotten really fucking good,
Deji,
man.
has he?
Dog, he's good.
Really?
I think he's arguably better than his brother, technically.
Better than KSI?
Technically, he's better than his brother. His older brother, KSI,
Yeah.
he's the older brother, right?
Yeah.
He has more of a dog in him. So he's more of a fighter mentally. Deji, technically, way better than his brother.
Interesting.
So, like, I saw a
Because
clip of
I
him.
feel like Deji hasn't done as well in terms of his fights, though.
Yeah, because like I said, he doesn't have a dog in him. You know what I mean? Like, KSI has a fucking dog in him. And that's really, I say it's probably more important than being more technically sound. But definitely his younger brother, if you've seen his newer stuff, I think I saw it like a couple months ago, he's fucking clean and nice with it.
Also, KSI is so rich.
Oh, fantastic. Him and his Logan Paul.
Yeah, so KSI, if you don't know, he popped off doing like FIFA gameplay videos.
Oh.
And
I see. I was always wondering what his claim to fame was.
his main shit was playing FIFA, I do believe. And then they just love his personality, so like people just really
goofy dude.
Yeah, goofy, funny dude. Good dude too, nice guy. And fucking I remember one time there was a story because he lived in some fucking nice ass spot. I don't know if this was still in England or not, but they didn't have room to bring this hot tub. He was trying to put a hot tub on his roof, and they couldn't get it through the building. He had that shit fucking like, what do you call them shits? Crane like dropped onto the roof, like the hot tub like on his
That's
building.
rich.
It was crazy.
Some people, when they got money, man, that's why I said if I box, it has to be a minimum of $500,000.
I feel it.
Cause like, why would I try to get my face punched in and memed?
I'm not trying to risk that shit for nothing.
Cause like, look, if I get knocked out, at least I got at the minimum of $500,000. If I could do something with that.
I feel it.
But if I don't get knocked out and I win, maybe I'll do another match.
I'm really just not trying to do it at all.
We're not very violent either. You know what I mean? We're not really about that life.
Yeah, look, even when I was on that shoot and they were like, "Yo, swing as much as like trying to hit this this
why?
Muay Thai fighter," I was pulling back my punches. Like, even though I feel like I could hit this motherfucker as hard as I can, I feel like he'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bring myself to actually try and hit this guy when I knew he wasn't really fighting me. You feel me? It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be great. I didn't take my shirt off because I didn't feel sexy.
Oh yeah, I would never take off my shirt. You have any idea what that looks like in slow mo?
Exactly.
Fucking water bag.
That was exactly my thought process, dog. Yeah. And this motherfucker's all ripped and tatted up and shit.
He looked like a fucking murderer, dude.
The blonde one.
Yeah, he looked fucking insane.
Oh, so they told me that they're like, okay, so this guy you're about to fight, he's from China, but he lived in this country for 8 years training Muay Thai, and then he moved here to train this. He's been in America for 2 months. I'm like, he knows we're fucking around, right?
No, language barrier here.
He understands that much, right? And he did, thank God. And it's gonna be funny. That's look for that on We Need to Talk About America season 2 on Fuse TV.
Oh, I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. I got the little just behind the scenes clips.
Listen, there's a lot of people who are very delusional when it comes to fighting, right? And I found this out interestingly because I didn't know anything about boxing, right? But if people know me, I have a very addictive personality where if I get into something, I'm into it a lot. Like it's not even just a little bit, like a lot. And look, anybody who has trained with me, they can vouch. Your boy got some hands.
Oh, I've seen it when we had lobster mac and cheese. It goes in, yeah.
Yeah. So, like, you motherfucker. And so we it's weird, but when I always see other people like who are in the creative space and they go, "Oh, you box too?" And I'm like, "No, I don't box." Right? Like I train boxing and then I'll spar every now and then, but I'm not a boxer. Yeah. And then I see them box in front of me. I'm like, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm pretty good." I'm like, "No, you're not." Like I've seen you move. You're not very good.
Right.
But this is how people get knocked out. Like, why do you do that? Like, what's the point?
Because their parents told them
that
that they were really good when they weren't.
This is the delusion part that gets them hurt.
Yeah.
That's why I always tell people, they're like, "Oh, you boxed for how many years?" I was like, "Listen, it's off and on, like a year and a half. So just keep that in mind.
Please relax.
Please relax. If I get you once or twice, think of it as a lucky shot. Yeah. Don't fucking go ham on me. You know what I mean?" And that's what happened. Dude fucking nearly knocked me out.
But you probably hit hard, though. I've seen you hit hard.
I mean, I got pretty heavy hands, but like that dude should know he's a pro fighter. And he told me that I could go. He verbally told me this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But he was like, "Oh, you got pretty good hands." It's like, you still shouldn't have hit me like that, dog. Like, because my whole face. Yeah. like it felt like a Acme cartoon when somebody drops an anvil on your face. Oh, God. Because he hit me full force.
I want to see it in slow motion.
No. Thank God nobody recorded that shit. Because that shit was like this and me going, "Wow!" That shit hella hurt.
I sent my little clip, behind the scenes clip to Rick, and I was like, "Yeah." I was like, look what I'm doing today. He was like, "You kind of look like you know what you're doing." I was like, "Okay, cool." I'm so hesitant to post shit because I feel like so many people, they'll take one boxing lesson and then they want to post shit and they look
Drake.
they look so stupid. Or like Wiz Khalifa, he's good. He's way better now, but he started posting
little
his
too early.
early shit, and he looks so silly with his lanky ass body.
Dog, I had no idea how tall Wiz Khalifa is.
Oh, he is tall and he's gained muscle now because he's been training.
He's
but
like 6'4".
yeah, he's a tall boy.
He's huge. I was like, Jesus Christ, because I saw him doing Muay Thai, and he's doing it with people like Sanchai, like legit people, and he's like decent now. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, in my mind, you always size people up. I'm like, wait, he's like 5 inches taller than me.
You want me to blow your mind?
What?
You know, this is how we do it. Montel Jordan, he's like 6'8".
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, dog. Montel Jordan, this is how we do it. It's Friday night.
What the fuck?
He's like 6'8". Let me fucking Google fact check real quick. That motherfucker's tall as hell.
Didn't Kamala Harris date him?
Yeah, there was something about that. Montel Jordan, height. 6'8".
That's fucking nuts.
Isn't that crazy?
Shout outs to Genuine and his interesting moves recently. I love watching Genuine dance in his old age.
Oh, he's embraced it.
It's funny now. I think he gets it.
Our idols are very old now because we are getting old.
They are getting a little crusty. And
But I tell you this, I'm gonna talk about it more when me and Rick finally get together for No Chaser. But Usher danced his ass off, dog, at that Vegas concert.
Well, Usher's different, right? Usher hasn't gained weight. He hasn't stopped doing what he's doing. He still was putting out bangers even like a couple years ago.
Usher's arguably probably the most consistent R&B dude of our generation.
His music has evolved with the time, and his new shit is still fucking amazing. So like with Usher, he doesn't count. You know what I mean? Usher is with it.
He doesn't count just because he's good?
He doesn't count as an old Dusty. Because he's good. He still gets the ladies all horned up, as you would say.
I'm glad I've injected that into your vocabulary.
It's hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, me and Rick would I was like, yo, it's got me horned the fuck up, dog. I'm horned up right now.
Usher, I mean, he did fuck up with that one Instagram selfie with him in the sauna naked.
Oh, where it's like his dick was exposed a little bit?
And then his legs were thin as fuck.
I recently, for my birthday, Chia booked this thing for me, which was the hot and cold sauna to ice bath.
That shit is painful as fuck.
I was trying to get footage of it for the vlog, and it's like me doing this for a minute. Oh, God, just in the ice bath, like just in pain.
And it's the one that circulates water, right?
It was
It's not just ice. It's actually just cold water circulating in the tub.
Yes, like a little ice hot tub almost.
So the one that we went to, right, it's substantially colder than just a regular ice bath. It feels like knives in your fucking body.
Literally needles all over your body.
It hurts.
Yeah.
Did you do it for a whole minute?
So they tell you to go back and forth between the ice and the sauna. By the last round I did, I forced myself to go to at least a minute. Yeah.
I could only do like 45 seconds.
Ugh.
And it just hurt.
It sucks.
Like I just remember my legs feeling like they were gonna fall off. It hurt so bad. And you know, people do that for like 4 minutes.
I know. Fucking Tiffany Thiessen, Kelly Kapowski. So she's been like into it lately. They have a whole setup now in their backyard. They just do these, they be chilling in these ice baths. She's like, come over one Sunday, we'll get you there. I'm like, I don't know.
No, I'm okay. I'm okay.
But I say that to say, well, yeah, I thought I would be way better at it, but it was my first time. But I was gonna say that like I was in the hot tub. No, I was in the sauna, and they let you just do it naked because you know you're the only one in there. And I took a fire dick pic. Oh, dude, it was fucking fire, dog. I look fucking buff. Like they had the red light on in the sauna, so I had my reflection in the glass, and I looked swole for whatever reason. I was sitting there, I looked swole, so I took like my dick out. I look fucking nice, and I say that to say I wouldn't be mad if that one leaked, cause.
You're gonna leak it yourself.
oh shit, Veda grab my phone, hit some buttons.
Well, everybody's gonna know you leaked it now. It's only that photo that leaks.
Okay, I'll make sure it leak. Picture of my mom, picture of Veda, picture of me butt naked in the sauna.
This picture of mom would just go like this.
With the plant.
With the plant, just like the infamous photo.
I also did the sensory deprivation shit.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you something.
Yeah,
If you are somebody whose mind races, it's not for you.
You said your mind is racist? Is that what you said?
I said races.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
You're just in there like, goddamn Mexicans.
I've never had like any of these thoughts before.
Before the silence.
I go inside. These Chinese. What is this? They started COVID. Let's kill them all. I hear all these racist noises. I knew BLM wasn't real. Like, what is this? What is this? What's going on?
Kanye was right.
But he watched 21 Jump Street and now he's okay. But when I went into the sleep deprivation thing, the deprivation chamber, I didn't realize like how you can't see anything.
Yeah.
Like literally nothing. You could have your hand in front of your face. It's not there.
It's pitch black. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they say like if you feel on the wall, you could turn on the lights. But it was so pitch black, I couldn't find it. So I was just in the dark for like 15 minutes, losing, and it felt like 1,000 hours.
You were in there for 15 minutes?
Yeah.
I was in there for an hour.
Oh, that's all I could do.
Oh.
I can only do 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This was another thing I thought I'd be better at. I thought like, oh, I'll be able to just fucking piece the fuck out and like meditate in this shit. I was good for probably the first 30 minutes. But I never reached the point where I was like, oh man, I'm very like, I've like reached nirvana and shit. Like the whole time I was sitting there, I was just like, what am I gonna have for dinner? That's where my brain went. And then after like half an hour of that, I was like, God, when is this over? But I did get to a point where
ADHD, baby.
Yeah, facts. I definitely got to a point where because you're floating there, and I had this like crick in my neck that I felt like it's a weird sensation where you're floating on the water, but you feel like you're floating on something, and it felt like I was feeling the pressure on that crick in my neck without getting massage. You know what I'm saying? So afterwards, I felt great because I felt like something was just pushing on my little crick in my neck.
Because a person was in there.
Oh gosh. Just a hand comes out after half an hour. Well, I wish they would have jacked me off.
You grab their hand. You start moving it over. They're pulling it back. No.
I float over. I flip over.
They start putting you back over the other way.
No, please, no.
No. Sir, stop.
But it was great. It was. I had been telling Chia for a minute. That's what
I just picture you trying to find their mouth. This is swimming here.
But yeah, it's exactly what I wanted. I'd been telling Chia for a minute, like, oh man, I want to try this. So she scheduled that for me, which was great. I spent it was like the complete opposite of any other birthday I've ever had, right? Because where it's like, when it's your birthday, you feel pressure. I should have a dinner. I should go out. I should party. This was a dinner. This was a birthday I spent in complete silence by myself, and I loved it.
Yeah, man. I feel like the days of celebrating my birthday hardcore, it's not that it's over. I just don't care for it as much, right?
Yeah.
I think also, too, because most people, they don't party as much as we have. And they have, like whenever we had the opportunity, we were traveling around, we're drinking. This is our everyday.
Yeah.
So on the days of our birthday, we try to do the opposite.
Yeah,
it's
to the point where it felt like work,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's different, right? So when people are like, how come, what are you going to do on your birthday? I say, well, if I celebrate my birthday, how is it different from the weekend before?
Right. So you want the difference. You want some peace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you just want to relax. Speaking of naked, I had Kazumi. You know who Kazumi is, the porn star?
Yes, I saw her on JK News.
Yeah, so she's done her podcast round. She's actually super funny. She recently was like, we've been trying to get her on No Chaser for a minute, right? And she really wanted to get on. She like grew up watching all of us too. She's like a super fan.
How old is she?
She's old enough to party.
Okay.
She also would love to come on Genius Brain. She told me.
I would love to. I'm just a little traumatized from my last.
We'll talk about that off camera as well.
Yeah.
So Kazumi told me like she wants to come on No Chaser. She came on. It was great. The day before, because she had did a interview on this YouTube channel called Soft White Underbelly, where they do like just like interviews and stuff. And she told me that they kind of told her to dress. She was gonna go regular, and they told her to dress a certain way because they were. She was talking about her experience in the porn industry, right? So she's like, "What should I wear?" I'm like, "Literally, wear whatever you want. I don't care if you wear a fucking pantsuit or if you come naked.
Who cares?
Yeah, I was like, pantsuit, naked. I don't give a fuck, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, "Oh my god, can I get naked?" And I was like, I don't care, dude. If you want.
Yeah.
So we're joking about it, but then it kind of got serious, right? And so she ended up doing No Chaser completely naked. Me, Rick, and her.
That's fucking wild.
Here's what's funny though, right? So she's like, so what should we do? Like, should I just start getting naked, or what should I do? I'm like, oh, here's what we'll do. I'll start talking about your shoes, and then without even referencing you getting naked, you just start getting naked, right? It'll be funny because me and Rick aren't gonna bring any attention to it. So she's like, all right.
I would giggle my ass off.
So let me tell you what happened, dog. We're in the conversation. We're like 20 minutes in and just talking about regular shit. And I'm like, oh, and those kicks are dope, by the way. Thinking she understands the plan. She goes, does that mean you want me to get naked? I'm like, okay, time out. Time out.
Okay, that's not.
But I did not. This was not my idea.
I don't think this is how you make me look right now.
But I'm like, yes, get naked, damn it.
She was like, listen, I'm a porn star. I'm not an actress. All right.
But yeah, it was great. It was great. That'll be next. Let's see. This drops on Monday. It'll be Wednesday's episode. She's literally just naked the whole time. We're just talking like regular.
That's so fucking funny, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to do a podcast with a naked girl though. I was be like, okay, I can't. You got to put something on here.
You know. Well, here's what's funny is that like when you're just kind of chilling, and you know it's just whatever. It's not necessarily hot. It's just kind of like, okay, we're just talking. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, you're just kind of over it.
Yeah.
So me and Rick took our dicks out because it was just boring. And then yeah. We're putting our dicks together to try and get something going, like a fire,
Like a flint. Come on. She was on JK News.
Yeah.
That's how I know of her.
Yes.
I saw her like on the stories and pop-ups. I didn't get to see any of the episodes, but she seems like she's like really funny.
Yeah, I saw her on a bunch of podcasts just kind of popping up on my algorithm, and I ended up following her just because I'm like, oh, she's funny. I should get her on, And then I followed her back. She was like, oh my God, yes, senpai, get me on your shit.
That's hilarious. I saw her on China Mac stuff too.
Yes. She's doing a lot of stuff with China Mac. Yeah.
She's like a master marketer, dude. She puts herself out there,
she
man.
She popped off in the last year or so, and I tell you what I love about her and why I definitely wanted to have her on, because I've had porn stars on No Chaser before. Shout out to Aaliyah Hadid. But like Kazumi, and I bring this up to her on No Chaser. She does this thing where she kind of talks about all her sexual escapades very like matter of factly, like you would talk about I went and grabbed chips at the grocery store. So it doesn't sound like she's trying too hard to be nasty, and it doesn't even sound nasty.
It's just her talking.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, like I was super horny back in like whatever, so I would just go like throw orgies myself. It's just kind of like, oh,
okay. Like she's picking up milk from the grocery store and shit.
Yeah, dog. It's like she's talking about just going to Trader Joe's and getting hash browns. You know what I'm saying?
What'd you do today? I got fucked in my ass 10 times.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was pretty boring.
Yeah, she's like, I got fucked in my ass 10 times, but Trader Joe's had those hash browns. That's when she gets hyped.
That
dog.
shit was crazy.
Have you had the hash browns from Trader Joe's?
Yes.
Did I tell you about the Trader Joe's employee that hooked us up?
Yes.
Okay.
You said it on the podcast.
Okay, love you, bye.
It was very good. Well, guys, that wraps up this episode of Dudes Behind the Food.
But before we go, my mother came here on a boat. Okay, my mother sailed here on a boat, not knowing that she would give birth to the GOAT. Greatest of all time, time heals all wounds, but I was in her womb. Cervix. Thank you for your cervix. Vicks on your chest when you're sick. Seasick.
C-section, cut me open, see me on the inside. I feel like I hide from my own demons. Father was a pastor, couldn't see what was happening in hell. Do tell.
Pastor, pass the collection plate. Don't eat off mine if you are not hungry. Hungary is a country in Eastern Europe. Peeing in the urinal. All right, guys, thank you for watching another episode of Dudes Behind the Foods. I'm Tim Johnson Wrongsuit.
And I'm David So.
Day, Issa Day, Issa
Sunday,
Day, Issa
Sunday,
Day.
yo,
It's
so.
Whoa.
Bye.
Yo, it's the dudes behind the food.